Happy Monday morning, everybody. I do want to. This might be a little bit of a longer video. I'm gonna put that out there, just because I got a lot to go through, and I'm also gonna start combining first and fourth block videos. And I'm gonna tell you why. I liked making videos just specifically for first block and specifically for fourth block, but I'm going to start combining the videos for first and fourth block because I think it's going to be better for continuity. I think it's going to be better for message. So I'll post the same video. It'll go individually to the classroom, but I'll post the same video, and I want to talk about that why here, or why that's going to be here in a second. First of all, I am very much, even though it's rainy and cold and gross out, I'm very much thinking about baseball right now. Hence, I'm wearing my Evergreen baseball hat, Evergreen softball shirt. I wish that we were in a normal state of situation where we would have, kids out there swinging the bat right now. But unfortunately, that's not the case. So, secondly, a little housekeeping. The our district sent out information about Evergreen Meals program, and the Evergreen Meals program, they just need you or your family to fill out a Google form. I put that on my Twitter. Okay, you probably got the information as well. It's a couple of questions, just like who you are, where you live, where you'd like to pick up your food, that sort of thing. Please use that. If you're somebody who usually counts on school to get your lunches, we really really want you to use that. So please do. Okay. Secondly, or thirdly, or wherever we're at, I do want to clarify before I say anything else that nothing is due. Okay, we're not. This is not official. This is not going into the grade book. This is not fourth quarter. This is not doing it for a grade, and if you don't, you're behind. Okay, but as a teacher, and I've said this before to you guys, my job is to offer you educational experiences. Since we don't really have at this moment going forward an official plan as a district, I just want to give you guys the opportunity to continue your learning. And for me, that's going to be reading and responding and maybe discussing. Okay, so don't freak out if you're like, oh my gosh, I don't have time for that. But nothing is due. But I do think that, again, if you're just interested in continuing your education and getting smarter and reading things and expanding the way you look at the world, like, this is what it's for. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to try to do this every day. Okay. I'm going to have some sort of daily reading that I'm going to post. Again, you can access it through Classroom. I'm mostly going to post it on a site called commonlit.org, COMMONLIT.org. Okay, as the name suggests, it is very lit, as the kids used to say. But Common Lit is a website that does a lot of different readings, and there's like response questions and things of that nature to the readings. And I think that that's going to be a really easy way to have everything in one place. They're usually short pieces that we can read and you can respond to and you can discuss. And I'm hopefully going to try to make them relevant because Common Lit has a big push to do some relevant stuff on public health and the coronavirus specifically and things of that nature. Okay, so what you're going to need to do to get signed into Common Lit is you can access it through Classroom. And when you go to commonlit.org, I already have a class set up. So what I need you to do is to log in through Google using your school account. Okay, so there's a button there that says log in through Google. You want to do that. You'll automatically be joined to whatever block you're in, first or fourth block, and then it'll take you to the assignments. Now again, they call them assignments. It's not due, it's not required, but that's what they call them on Common Lit as assignments, so don't freak out. So go in, you should have one posted already that is about self-care, and we're going to talk about that in a second. You can read the article, and then on the right-hand side, there will be some multiple choice questions and one response question. Again, do as many or as few as you want to do. If you just want to read it, that's fine. If you want to read it, answer the questions, and respond, that's great too. If you want to read it and respond as a class comment on the assignment itself that's posted on Classroom, again, it's not an assignment, it's optional. If you want to just respond as a class comment and stimulate some discussion, I would love that, okay? And I will absolutely, like I did last week, try to engage in those conversations, okay? So log in through Google. You will have something posted there. Today's is about self-care, and you can read it. You can respond. You can respond on Common Lit that I'll just see, or you can respond as a class comment that everyone can see, okay? What I would like to do, and this doesn't have to happen, again, not required, what I would really like to do is hopefully to start cultivating some online discussions as far as, virtual discussions on a platform like Zoom or a platform like Google Hangouts, okay? If that's something that you think you would like to do, to interact and discuss whatever we're reading that day and maybe just how we're taking care of ourselves and each other, go ahead and comment on this video, okay, the assignment, the material that's posted, and let me know if that's something you'd like to do. If I have some interest, I'll definitely set that up. Again, you don't have to, but I think it's in a time like this where we're probably really socially isolated and we're not seeing people on a daily basis. It would be nice to see some faces, maybe have a couple of laughs and discuss what the reading was for that day. Okay, so if you want to do that, comment on this material, this video, and let me know if that's something you'd be interested in, because I think that'd be really cool. Okay, so that just talks about what I'm gonna do going forward, how you access Common Lit, and that sort of thing. What I'd like you to do right now is, if you're watching this video, go ahead and pause it, and I want you to go read the article on Common Lit. Today's article talks about self-care. Again, very relevant to what we got going on today, and I think it's an article that you'll probably enjoy reading. So pause right now, go read the article, and then when you come back and restart it, I'm going to talk just a little bit about the article itself, and how, my thoughts on it in general. Okay, so pause. And now we're back. All right. So the article that I've posted about self-care, obviously it is an informational text. Okay. And it's kind of the author's stance on how to make sure that you are as healthy as you possibly can be. First of all, the main thing I want you to notice on this piece is how the text is structured. So the text structure, or the text features, we can also call it, where we have those headings that talk specifically about what the author is going to discuss in that section. The author sets that up in the paragraph where it says self-care strategies. I would argue that in that paragraph is the author's thesis, okay? Where the author says, hey, the combination of taking care of these things can definitely help you improve your self-care. So again, as we're looking through an informational piece, look for things like, hey, what's the thesis statement here? What are they really trying to tell us? How do they structure this informational piece? Okay, and hopefully you notice those things as you were reading. The first thing I want to mention about it is, in that first paragraph, they talk about self-care and how our body's really good at giving us cues when we need something. And I would argue that sometimes as a human being, especially a human being with some responsibilities, we like to ignore those cues. You're tired and you just push through it. You haven't eaten all day and you just keep going. You've eaten maybe some bad food, and food that's not good for you, processed food, and you feel terrible. Sometimes it's really easy to ignore those cues because you just have other things on your mind. And I think that sometimes, especially in a moment like this where we can sit back and maybe reflect a little bit, we can notice when our body sends those cues and react a little more appropriately. One of the other things that I like the article talks about is how it talks about sleep. And obviously, your teachers have probably told you since, you were in kindergarten, sleep is very important. And they always told you before you took a standardized test, like, man, you definitely got to make sure you get your sleep. And people of your age are particularly vulnerable to being, how do I want to say this, being subject to there's Belle. Hi, baby. Yeah. Hi. Say hi to First and Fourth Block. Hi, sweetheart. I know. So when you get not enough sleep, you are particularly vulnerable to some of the downsides or side effects of not getting enough sleep, such as memory loss, inability to focus. Obviously, you feel drowsy, things of that nature. So that can be really, really tough. And especially at your age, they say you need like 8, 9, even 10 hours of sleep. That can be really tough to get. So that's just one thing I've noticed throughout this whole kind of break with the social distancing and self-quarantining. My sleep has really fluctuated. There's been some days where I've got like 9 hours of sleep, and there's been some days or nights where I've got like 3 or 4. And I totally see a difference when I have gotten the 3 or 4 versus when I get the 8 or 9, because it definitely improves. I mean, when I go to exercise, I know that I have more energy. When I go to do these videos, I feel like I have more energy or more ability to focus. So again, anytime you can get more sleep, and this might be a really good time to catch up on it, I like that. One of the other things that I think I wanted to talk about this piece, and it kind of made me think about, was the way in which we translate from self-care that is based on what our parents provide for us into adulthood and being individuals. Because have you ever heard of the phrase the freshman 15? It usually refers to when high school seniors go to be college freshmen, and they oftentimes gain a lot of weight. And jokingly, we make fun of people when they do that, but usually what it has to do with is it's somebody who's gone from having their parents regulate their diet, having their parents regulate their exercise and their health care, to having to do it themselves. And truthfully, we're really, really bad at it, especially if it's something that we haven't done for a while. Okay, so that's one thing. And I know you guys are freshmen in high school, not freshmen in college, but that's something that when I think about the idea of managing our own health and managing our own self care, that's really important. Um, so those are kind of my thoughts. If you would like to comment on this, Pete Bell is being really intrusive now. She doesn't like that I'm recording this video. She wants my attention. Um, those are the things that I thought about it. Again, I know I'm sorry it's a little bit of a longer video, but I wanted to make sure we were all on the same page. Again, nothing is due, but if you just want to interact, I'll try to choose readings that are relevant, lighthearted, interesting, just to kind of keep you guys engaged. So the one last thing that you can do is if you have somebody in your class or somebody in a different block, first or fourth, and you know that they don't know that I've been posting these or they haven't been interacting, just give them a shout out. Let them know, hey, DeSlover's putting stuff up on Classroom if you wanna look at it. Because realistically, I mean, between this video and reading it and maybe answering the questions, I mean, I'm probably asking for like 20 minutes, and that's not too bad to invest in yourself for about 20 minutes. So if you have any questions, please let me know. If you have struggles signing up for Common Lit, please let me know. Remind, email are fine, and comment either on this video if you'd like to do a hangout or some sort of Zoom meeting, or comment on the Common Lit assignment on Classroom if you have thoughts about this piece. So I hope it's relevant. I hope it's interesting. Again, I apologize for the long video, but hopefully we're all on the same page and these can go a little quicker moving forward. So have a great Monday. Help each other out. Look for ways to get involved. Look for ways to help people who might need it in this moment. And we will check in with you tomorrow. Bell, say goodbye. Say goodbye to him.